What's good, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. I'm about to be talking to y'all today about the new Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie. Now, the story of this movie is that the dinosaurs are still on that island where we seen them at in the last movie. But on the island, there's a massive volcano that's erupting, pretty much about to destroy the whole island. Well, this supposedly rich billionaire guy, he comes along and he tells our main crew that I want you guys to go save the dinosaurs and bring them to this sanctuary park. I got all this money. I'm gonna give you guys machinery, equipment, staff, backup. Armed mercenary type guys to go out there with you and help you. So I'm gonna help you guys out, but I just want to save the dinosaurs out the goodness of my heart. That's what our older gentleman tells us. Well, that was a punk ass lie. His business manager pretty much set up the whole thing just to get the dinosaurs back here to Earth because they needed Blue, the raptor, because they needed her DNA to make a new Indoraptor type of deal. And they wanted to just basically sell off and auction all the dinosaurs. So that's pretty much what they did. They got all the dinosaurs back here and they started auctioning them off one at a time. Some of them actually got away while they were doing the whole auction thing. Some of the dinosaurs were put in trucks and taken away. So even at the end of the movie, after everything was restored or, everything was over, some of the dinosaurs are still out there. So, it's going to be another one. Some of the dinosaurs even survived on the island because the island wasn't completely overtaken, but a massive chunk of it was. So you could even think some more dinosaurs are over there. The story of this movie is pretty basic. I mean, you could see it coming a mile away. I mean, when you first even seen the older gentleman and his business manager, you knew that they were full of shit. Well, the older gentleman was sincere, but he was just very naive and silly to let somebody like that handle his business and take care of everything. And you could just tell this business manager had bad intentions from the start. I mean, you just basically could see it coming. So when they started turning on them and stealing the dinosaurs and trying to sell them, it wasn't like a big surprise. It was pretty much like, duh, of course. Anyway, this movie had some really bad acting in it. I'm a big Chris Pratt fan, but I think he must have been going through the divorce at this time because his acting feels really forced and just bad. This is probably the worst performance I've seen of Chris Pratt of all his movies. Like I say, I'm a big Chris Pratt fan, but I can tell when somebody's not themselves, and Chris Pratt was definitely not himself in this movie. You could tell he was just trying to go, he was just going through the motions, just trying to make it. And I understand, going through a divorce, married to somebody for years, I got a kid, so I can understand 100% why mentally he wasn't all there. But yeah, I gotta call it like I see it, and it was just bad. It's not even funny. There's no jokes in there that you really laugh at with Chris Pratt like in all his other movies. There's not really no comedic scenes from him. I mean, once in every blue moon he would say like a funny line, but it was just a really dry, bland performance. It almost was Bruce Willis like, like what we see from his movies, just dry. And that's completely different than any Chris Pratt movie that I've seen. And Bryce Dallas Howard, she was all right. I guess you could say her normal self, sort of Mary Sue-ish, sort of just there, you know what I mean? So I really can't say she has any character arc. I mean, she's what you've seen in the first one, just without high heels in this one, pretty much. So, she has some parts where she saves the day, and all that. But to me, it's just all bland and sort of just acting like they're there. It's just sort of turning at the camera and looking shocked type of stuff, you know what I mean? But it just doesn't come across right like you would want her to be like a good, strong character. It just comes across completely Mary Sue-like. So, yeah, it lost me with that. And then we had a couple SJW characters in there. They had the black guy nerd who was a coward and just was, I guess, supposed to be the comedic relief. But hearing a grown man scream like a little girl, it doesn't really make me laugh. It just kind of makes me feel embarrassed for him. Next up, we had an Asian girl in there, and I think they just added these two people just to get some color in there because they didn't want it to just be Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. So they added a little black guy and they added an Asian girl, kind of like in Star Wars. I think at least for the Asian girl, she had a part where she's a doctor, so she did a blood transfusion on Blue, so she did save somebody, so you could say she was needed. She did have a significant part. But the black guy with all the screaming and just running cowardly, like, I think he just was a complete turnoff to me watching the movie. I know you got to have some characters like that, but it's just if that's his only purpose in the movie is to do that, it just leaves me like kind of like, ugh. all in all, I think this movie is horrible. It's damn near 3 hours. You're going to be sitting in there for a very, very long time. There's no reason for this movie to be so long. There's not anything happening significant after the 2 hour mark. There's really not anything happening significant throughout the whole movie. This is the worst of all the Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movies in my mind. It was a complete waste of time. I think it was a waste of a budget. I mean, you got all those hundreds of millions of dollars, and this is the garbage you make. The story sucks. The acting sucks. It's way too long. The CGI is it's all right, but again, it's just way too long. Nothing really happens. You're not gonna enjoy this movie. I do not recommend you go see this. Honestly, I think it's just a waste of your money. If you go to the theater to see this, you can wait and check it out, rent it, don't buy it, because it's definitely not worth your time. Well, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, y'all. Did you like this movie, or is you just like me, you're not feeling it at all? Let me know in the comment section below, y'all. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It's much appreciated to this channel, and I'll catch y'all ass out there in the universe. Peace.